Hello everybody, this is Tom from the UBR. It is currently 1:35 in the morning. I just threw up. While some may say it was from a stomach virus or a sickness or bad food, I threw up because I was disgusted. There's a boy out there who goes by the alias of Gligar13Vids. This guy is so bad I cannot watch his videos in succession because they legitimately make me feel sick. And I do some pretty sick shit when I'm mad. But in all honesty, you know you're in for a treat when this is one of his intros.
Hello everyone, it's me and I'm better than you!
Oh, you can just tell we're in for a great time. Welcome to the long-term, unbiased review of other reviews, starring today and in the near future, our dear friend Gligar. Jesus, go back to the barn. Pigs don't talk. So today I will be targeting his review of Wolfenstein: The New Order. I would give some kind of intro, but it's just too depressing to think up a witty cutaway or statement. So here's the format. If you want the actual video, you can search it. I will be addressing every single flaw in his video and telling you the exact time that the flaw comes into play, but not showing it, rather giving you the link to the video in the description. I'm going to try not to have you all die from an aneurysm while you're watching my video hearing his voice. Ugh. Or at least try as much as it is humanly possible. Okay, everybody, get your happy buckets. Time to get started. Flaw number 1. His first point comes in 2.5 minutes in. Flaw number 2. At 3 minutes exactly, he just complained about the number of discs required to play the game on Xbox 360. Okay, Wilbur the Pig, let me help you understand something. This game was designed with current gen in mind. When the game had to be ported down to PS3 and the 360, it meant more discs. Also, that's not a con, it just meant that there's a lot of files in the game. And then at 4 minutes in, he says he actually wants to start the review. Well, there goes 4 minutes of my life I could have spent masturbating. At 4 minutes and 10 seconds, he says that the story is generic in Wolfenstein. First off, Wolfenstein is a one-of-a-kind story when it comes to setting and mood. Then the fact that it has Bethesda-level detail in it actually makes it really different. And you don't go undercover in concentration camps in BF4 or in COD Ghosts. Then, at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, he says something that really had me sick. First off, there wasn't QuickTime. Second off, why are you complaining about having a godlike soldier? A few minutes later, and you start complaining about difficulty in this review. Also, it's an alternate timeline set in World War II with big guns and mechs, not boy in the striped pajamas. They're taking some liberties with the character. Oh, I'm already starting to feel nauseous. At 4:45, while his complaints of glitches are really undeniable on PS3 and 360, if he rented it for current gen, he wouldn't have had these problems. Also, who the hell rents games from Family Video? They only let you have the game 2 days. That's not adequate enough to review the game. Ugh. Around 6 minutes in, then he says you get hit. I can't even focus. This guy disgusts me that much. Around 6 minutes in, he says you just get hit with metal to the head. You get hit in the head with a piece of shrapnel while diving at a castle. Not metal. Fix your grammar, or I will be forced to report you.
Yeah, Sergeant Faraday to HQ. Domestic grammar dispute has been resolved.
Now, at 6:22, pardon me, but you said that making Nazis evil is overdone. If you want to change in pace, at least reword it, because you sounded like a Nazi supporter. Now, at 6:45, you start complaining about the marketing, making you seem like a realistic shooter. Look, buddy, the trailers and the mechs should have clued you in. That's like saying I'm going to make a dark drama about Boys in the Hood starring Mr. Rogers. Something doesn't add up, and there's going to be a few gears missing when it comes to legitimacy.
Say this once, Lawrence. I hope it's understood. Get right back in your van. Get the fuck out of my neighborhood.
And then it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and he says that this game is just about shooting Nazis, and it should be. He says that it should be about shooting Nazis, implying that it's not. Well, I'm sorry, Gligar. Was I shooting puppies, or was I high on heroin thinking I was shooting Nazis? Then at 7:45, he starts for the first of many times comparing it to COD, saying that Black Ops 2 had better frame rate. Well, it did, buddy. It was designed with the PS3 in mind. It's like getting mad at my computer, and by the way, it can only run games from around 2004 to 2006, and getting mad at it because it can't run a game properly from 2010. Yes, it can be ported down, but it's not going to look as good. Ugh, flaw number 12. At 8 minutes in, he says you run out of ammo a lot. Okay, if ammo in Wolfenstein was Halloween candy, I would be one hell of a happy kid. Also, the enemies are not bullet sponges, so to quote you. There are different classes, sure, but the standard guys, which is all the footage from your game, since you didn't even play them more than 4 hours judging from the footage, it would only take a few bullets. You suck. It doesn't necessarily bore everybody to death either, like you said. You can have your opinion, but you can't generalize and say that everybody will feel the same. Oh god. 2:30 in the morning. At 8 minutes and 15 seconds in, he complains of long loading times. First off, they really aren't as bad as you make it. Second off, the engine is not buggy. You play on a non-optimal system for the game, because he complains about the id Tech engine. Or ID, I'm really not sure how you pronounce it. Ugh. Then at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, he says that the checkpoint saves are terrible, and that they're poorly placed. They're not bad by any means, they're just like any other system, and they're strategically placed, and I never ran into an overwhelming encounter or boss battle where there wasn't the checkpoint prior. God. Once again, it seems to be a habit of yours, but you made up information. Now, at 9:46, he starts bitching about the weapon wheel. Let me explain this. He thinks it's bad that this weapon wheel is in real time. While the game is practically made of cover and vantage points, you just pick up one of the abundant health packs or, get behind cover. It isn't that bad, buddy. And the weapon wheel isn't finicky either. Now, at 10:38, he started complaining about the robot bosses. He said the only way to get them was with grenades and that they're overpowered. They really aren't. I've never killed one with a grenade before. You just need to utilize strategy. Like with drones, you use the shotgun for a spread shot. Or if there's a giant mech, you aim at the vulnerable light on the robot. Now, 18. At 11:31, he says that everybody that likes the game is paid off. Look, buddy, while it's undeniable that some people do take money, hell, it's what my channel's trying to combat. It doesn't mean that everybody does. Learn that your opinions are a minority for some pretty good reasons. Look at your like to dislike ratio, and that most people did like this game. The game is old school, contrary to what you're saying, as it has health pickups, collectible items, linearity, and 80s style action. Then, he called Call of Duty old school because they have big guns. Gligar, you motherfucking piece! Look, all because it has big guns doesn't mean they're the same. COD doesn't have innovation, it's repetitive and has regenerating health. Wolfenstein had some cool things to bring to the table and isn't repetitive, had a compelling narrative, and old school elements like armor, health, cartoonish guns, over-the-top violence. Moving on before I have to be committed. Now at 12:20, he says the graphics are trashy. Once again, retard, the game is meant for 360, so it's not gonna perform well, you graphics slut. Now at 12:50, he says that, well, yeah, he is right about the dual-wielding sucking. Why did he complain about it? The lack of accuracy isn't a fault in the game, it's a fault in your logic. Now, around the 13-minute mark, he starts to touch on the stealth. Brace yourselves. He starts by saying the game wants to be Metal Gear, which is ironic because Metal Gear is third-person modern-day stealth. while Wolfenstein is 1960s alternate timeline knifing and silence gun only stealth. Now, 22 is a long one. Less than 5 seconds after the previous fault, I will quote him. So basically, you creep up on enemies and use modern 2013 game execution moves. I am not kidding. There is a signal detector where if anybody sees you, you basically get destroyed by these enemies. However, if you find the commander and assassinate him, it's a lot easier. This can make the game real frustrating, especially as you struggle to find the commander, only to get seen because the game is schizophrenic. End quote. What did he just say? He said that God forbid we have working stealth tactics in a game. It's pathetic now. Plus 2, it's just a knife with a silenced gun. It isn't that modern. Then he bitches about having to assassinate a commander before he sees you under the threat of calling reinforcements. But you see, it isn't that hard because as you get closer, the number of meters close to you gets smaller. Go in the direction of the numbers as it gets smaller. It isn't that complicated, you dumb motherfucking piece of donkey. Now, I lost where this happened in the game, but at one point he said he heard the game was short in length. First off, the game was not short in length. I clocked in a good 15 hours, including replay. Wait, back up. He heard? He heard? Look, buddy, you don't use opinion in your own review. A review is a summary of your opinions of the game. Plus 2, this takes away all credibility from your review because nobody knows exactly how much of the game you actually played. And why the fuck did you not complete it? And saying it's not that bad, saying it's just that bad is not an excuse. God damn it, I sat through Call of Duty Ghosts, Ben sat through Halo 4, and Alec tried to, and succeeded in getting to max level in Titanfall without throwing his controller through the window. And you don't hear us bitching about it. We played this story mode, and we never review a game unless we have more than 80% total completion with a completed campaign. At 14:10, he once again started talking about an experience his friend had and how he beat the game when there wasn't a Hitler mech boss. Well, first off, way to go, asshole. You spoiled it for anybody that didn't play it, you hairy cunt. Second off, this isn't your experience. Third off, if you didn't experience it, how can it be your nitpick? Because he literally said it's a nitpick that he has, but he didn't actually experience this in the game. Now, he said something incredibly stupid, which is a fact he made up. 25th error, in fact, at 14:35. He said that it was impossible and that they never made a Mario game without Bowser. Last time I checked, they did it multiple times, and the most notable and one of the most successful Mario games, period, of which was Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES. 20. 26, not 20. God, I'm losing my marbles from this guy. At 15 minutes and 53 seconds, he says that it's a con for the game not to have multiplayer. Look, when the single player had so much effort put into it, you can give multiplayer a break, okay? It's not like they half-assed the single player here. It had Bethesda-level quality. My final flaw, number 27. At 16 minutes and 35 seconds, he says that getting frustrated isn't an old-school experience. Anybody that played old-school Nintendo will tell you, and not just old-school Nintendo, old-school gaming period, that difficulty, raging, and actual consequence to failure was an effervescent trait in gaming that sadly isn't so present now, and this game actually kinda brought it back for a little bit. I mean, I remember running out of lives in Mega Man, Mario, or, you know, when moments like that just don't happen anymore, and then he's complaining because it does happen in this game. Quit your bitching, since there are 5 different difficulties. I mean, come on, buddy. One of the difficulty modes is him with a baby hat on. Come on, buddy. This is God's way of telling you just flat out suck at this game. He's giving you a personal telegram. Oh, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, that was terrible. Now, I put some of these faults in a comment in his video, and in his reply, he said that I was a COD 4 fanboy who was blatantly making up facts. First off, he clearly didn't know that I can't stand Call of Duty. His comment made me want to crap myself from anger after he started name-calling from behind a monitor. Look, Gligar, I want you to succeed, so please take my advice. First off, stop falsifying your facts. Second off, stop crudely jamming your opinion and bias into everything. Third off, I know this may seem hypocritical, but your microphone and sound quality is worse than mine. Fourth off, get a new hobby, succeed in something else. You're the perfect example of one of those types of reviewers we want to put out of business. By God, you are terrible. You bash Nintendo, you love COD, you hate 90% of games that come out, while granted some of your hate is verified. Wait, who am I kidding? Even games that you don't like, you can't even justify not liking them, and if you do, your justification makes no sense. Oh, your voice also makes record amounts of ears bleed. It is 2:25 in the morning, and I'm about to have an aneurysm. Well guys, this is Tom from the UBR, and in September, part 2 of this Gligar miniseries will star Ben.
Hello everyone, it's me and I'm better than you!
God, what kind of rednecks let a pig drive a car? Pigs can't talk anyway.